Hello, Mr. Mayor. My name is Dr. Robert Bartosh, and I just wanted to make this video with some information that hopefully, and I'm thinking you may be having town meetings or whatever, and I know you folks are, you in particular, you've got to be overwhelmed. You're hearing many voices, and they all have an effect on you. And I'm not saying that some of the voices that you're hearing aren't genuine or telling you the truth. But what I am saying is this, that it's always better to err on the side of being too cautious than not enough. And I know how much you care for the people whom you serve. And it's the truth that's going to make you free from some of these lies that will keep people in bondage and even lead to their ultimate destruction if they don't act accordingly. I want to share with you here that because of the burn of the vinyl chloride, um, you have all been subjected and exposed to a very noxious, very toxic chemical called dioxins. Regardless of what people are saying to you, I want to share with you the truth, okay? And actions that you can take that will help you out. Now, and this is from the EPA so that you understand that I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm not giving you anything anecdotal. You can share it with your people, and not to create fear, but rather to create an effective action steps that you can take that will help your people out. But in order to do so, you've got to recognize what the problem is, identify what it is, and that's going to lead us into what you can do most efficiently and effectively. The EPA, in its own warnings regarding dioxin, has stated this, and I will quote, "Studies have shown that much of the dioxins that are burned are released through the air and they settle on the plants, which indeed has happened in your community. These plants are, in turn, they're eaten by meat and dairy animals, which store the dioxins in their fatty tissues." So now the dioxins are passed into these animals. People are exposed to dioxins primarily, not just exclusively, but primarily by eating meat, fish, and dairy products, especially those that are high in fat, because that's where the dioxin, that's where the poisons are. Now, also, you have to understand that also the people that were out, it's in the air, and it falls on your skin unbeknownst to the individual, and it's absorbed into the body that way as well. Okay? These dioxins then accumulate in the fats of the cows or the beef or the poultry or the pigs, whatever the person is ingesting, making the human consumption of these these harmful chemicals difficult, if not impossible, to avoid. That's the first thing. That's the end quote. The next I want to quote is that these dioxins, they don't go away. They don't go away. According to the EPA, they explain it as such, and I quote, "Dioxins are classified as persistent, bioaccumulative, and toxic pollutants." Now the EPA labels them as PBTs. Now, that are highly toxic, these PBTs are highly toxic. They're long-lasting substances that can build up in the food chain to levels that are harmful to human and ecosystem health. Persistent means they remain in the environment for extended periods of time. Some will tell you that it's anywhere from 7 to 11 years. Other authorities will say it goes longer than that. It's contingent upon the concentration of the dioxin, the absorption rate of the fields or the plants that they fall in. So again, erring on the side of being too cautious than not enough. Bioaccumulative means their concentration levels increase as they move up in the food chain. So that starts off in the ground, the plant absorbs it into them, the animals then eat these plants, and some of the animals eat one another, so these dioxins are passed on into the system. And then the individual will go, the humans then consume these animals, these fish, or these plants as well. And that means that as a consequence, the animals at the top of the food chain, which is you and I, humans, they tend or will have the highest dioxin concentrations in their bodies. And this is going to be over a period of time. Unbeknownst to the consumer, to the individual, they think that everything is okay, that you know they've gotten this pass from the EPA or from wherever, and they say you're okay because nothing is apparent right now. It's not showing up. But understand that this toxin is building up and building up and building up over time. Now, some of the health problems that are caused by the dioxin exposure, not anecdotal. Immune suppression. That means the individuals get weaker and weaker and sicker as they become more vulnerable to the bacteria, the viruses, the parasites, the fungus, the bugs that are all around them every day. Infertility and spontaneous abortions. Extreme hormonal disruption. Those are the most powerful molecules in the human body, and it wreaks havoc. Developmental disorders in babies and children, and also DNA mutations, and of course we have to add to the list cancers. Some other adverse effects may include cardiovascular disease, and some of these things may be divorced from the situation. They may explain it off or excuse it as something else not attributed to the dioxins. And these things can happen many years later after the initial exposure. But cardiovascular disease, diabetes, as I mentioned, the cancers, endometriosis, early menopause, reduced testosterone and thyroid hormones, altered immunologic response, skin, tooth, and nail abnormalities, growth factors, altered metabolisms. All of these things can happen as a result of being exposed to the dioxin. And again, as I'm saying to you, these things can be exposed and revealed years and years and years later. So please don't be convinced by what some of these people are saying. You're okay, nothing's showing up. So what do? Great. One of the first things you can do is contact labs that test for dioxin levels. They can do blood tests and see if there's dioxin that's present. And it's not something that you want to do only one time. Because you're exposed to the environment on a regular, everyday, never-ending basis, because people are going to be eating plants, because they're going to be eating fish and fowl and meats and drinking milk, and they're ingesting these things, it would be prudent to be tested at least once every 6 months, if not more frequently, given the gravity of the situation you're in. Do this. I would strongly suggest, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm suggesting that you and your people do these things. Don't listen to the authority. You have the responsibility to take care of your body. It's a decision that you make, and you want to do that. Now, when you get it tested for the dioxins, the average, because we're all exposed to this garbage throughout all the world, but the average right now in a healthy level is 7 or less than 7 parts per trillion. That's what you want to go for. Don't go by the absence of any symptoms or any apparent problems you're having. Go by what the blood work is telling you. It has to be 7 or less parts per trillion. That's the average. Also, what you want to do, if it's anything above that, you're having a problem, see, that's developing. You want to have or suggest to your people that they drink at least half their body weight in ounces of water every day. Let me be clear. If a person weighs 100 pounds, that individual wants to drink then half their body weight, that would be 50, half of 100, in ounces of water. So they want to drink at least 50 ounces of water, half of their body weight, each and every day. not just when they're thirsty. Why? Because your body, being fearfully and wonderfully made, it's cleaning itself out. It's detoxifying itself on a regular basis, every day, every day, every day. The water will help to flush out. It will help to dilute and help the body to clean this stuff out so that these dioxins, so that these chemicals don't adhere to the fatty tissue. That's one powerful thing you can do. Another thing you can do is, because of the amount of water that they're drinking, and they can drink more, but not less. You can drink more. As a result of drinking the water, recommend your people get Himalayan pink sea salt. Those are essential minerals. As a result of drinking this water, the body, you're going to be washing out some of these essential minerals as well. So what you want to do is make sure that you have those available. A safe place to start is about a half a teaspoon of that Himalayan pink sea salt every morning in a small glass of water. Drink that, okay? That'll help to replenish what you may be washing out. Also, you want to make certain that the people bathe or shower every day. Why? Because you're going out in the environment, you're going to be exposed to this stuff, and it may not be the level it was in the air before, but it's going to be in the air. And then also, as you walk through the environment, you're going to disturb things like the plants or the shrubs or the leaves, the wind's blowing the leaves or whatever. You're going to be then affected by it. So you want to make sure that you wash every single day. Have your people do that so that they can at least, get rid of that debris that they may be accumulating in their hair, on their face, all over their body. All right. Another thing that you can do, or you can suggest to people to do, is to get Epsom salts. Epsom salt, and they every couple days or whatever, they can take a hot Epsom salt bath with white vinegar. A half a cup of Epsom salts and a half a cup of white vinegar in a nice hot bath, and just lay in that. What that's going to do, it's going to cause a transmission of some of the toxins that might be in the superficial layers of the skin and in the fatty tissue. It'll pull it out, and it'll help the body to detoxify itself. You're gonna be helping the body to do that, okay? That's going to be very, very important to do. Also, make certain that you get out and walk every day. Get outside. I know it sounds contraindicated because I told you about going out in the environment, but you got to stimulate activity. You have to do that. That's going to be pumping your body's lymphatic system. That's the body's sewer system. So by being active, just going out for walks every day, you're going to be breathing, exhaling. That's going to help the body to clear itself out. As you're moving, that's a pumping mechanism, if you will, for the lymphatic system. It's going to help to push the garbage out, and do that every day. Don't sit and languish. Don't have your people, even if you get groups of your community, get them together for a community walk every day, early in the morning and maybe early in the evening. You as a community, lead them. Get out there and do a community walk where everybody's walking. They have fellowship. They're talking to one another instead of isolating themselves. That's going to benefit their wellness, their peace of mind as well. Their emotions, they're going to be able to talk and share and talk about all kinds of things. It's very, very beneficial, the emotional stability right now, because there's a lot of stinking fear, and fear has torment. Get together as a community and walk every day, and that's going to be helping out. Also, speaking about detoxification, chlorella. Chlorella is a very powerful agent in the detoxification process for dioxins in particular. Chlorella. I will, if you permit me, if you'll contact me and you give me the permission to do so, I will attempt to contact some companies and see if we can't get some of the chlorella available for your people, okay? I will certainly do that for you. And the walking also, I failed to mention, it's going to motivate, it's going to stimulate what's called peristalsis. They're going to have bowel movements. And listen, your body is going to use the liver. It's an organ of filtration. It's going to use the liver to detoxify the body. And when it gets the waste materials, it's going to dump it into the feces. So it's important that the people have bowel movements, regular bowel movements, so that the body can get rid of the garbage, and also the drinking of the water. The kidneys are the other filtration system, and that's going to help to flush it out as well. Just these simple things. Also, as the climate is changing now, when you go for the walk during the day, tell your people to walk get at least 20 minutes of sun exposure every day. At least 20 minutes of sun exposure every day. Don't use any kind of tanning agents or sunblocks. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to be fine. None of your people need to be concerned about developing skin cancer, being exposed to the sun. 20 minutes. 20 minutes is what you need, okay? Every day, try to get out there and enjoy it. Breathing deeply, getting into the sun, talking, having that community event that's going together. And I promise you, that's going to do much. It's going to do a whole lot, because your body is the most amazing piece of creation on the face of the earth. It's been made to be well, and it's doing so right now, even as I speak to you and to all of those people in your community. If it wasn't, I dare say that many of your people would have died instantly. But because of the magnificence of the body, they aren't. And I think that these things will help you out. Look, Mr. Mayor, in whatever way I can help you out, please don't hesitate in contacting me. All right, please. And as I said, with your permission, allow me to hear from you, and I will do whatever I can in order to get some of these companies perhaps to supply your people with some of these agents that will help to clear out these toxins in a more effective manner. Hey, I want to thank you so very much for giving me your time and allowing me to share this information with you. And please know that there are a lot of my clients, a lot of my patients, including myself, my family, that are praying for you and praying for your people. We serve a great and an almighty God, and He loves you and He loves your people. And we're praying that that indeed in all of this you're going to see the reality of a great and a mighty God, because He does love you folks, and we love you as well. Okay? So again, thanks so very, very much. I hope to hear from you. God bless.